Initially, he was a teacher in public speaking. He then introduced a complete course in public speaking and around 1930s, which is also like 90 years back from now. Uh, uh, like a Coursera or Udemy course, which we can say. So adding one factor over here, so of this public speaking course, Warren Buffett was also a part of this course. So Warren Buffett took this course in 1940s or 50s, and today also in his office he had the completion certificate of this course on his wall, rather than the degrees of Columbia business schools or other business schools which he went and pass on. So that is how he feel Dale Carnegie was to him. Coming to this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So it was written back in 1936. So first edition was in 1936, around 85 years back. So it's strange, no, but yeah. So some most of the examples of this book revolve around Abraham Lincoln, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and the other great personalities of that time. So do try to connect with all these people. It will be hard for us, but yeah, do try. Now, now I like to now Animesh, you can take over from now.
Okay, Nishal. Can you please tell me if I'm audible?
Yeah, yeah, you're audible.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Animesh. I hail from Udaipur. I am currently pursuing engineering from Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, and I'm pursuing it in computer science. So I'm very excited to start this series of book discussion. The book that we are going to discuss in this particular Discord session is that How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is a very timeless masterpiece written by the author. Uh, I probably read it twice, and this year I got an opportunity to read it again for this session. So I'm not a very big fan of reading self-help books, but when it comes to this book, it keeps you hooked from the first page till the very end. So this book will very well teach you why people do certain things that they do, and how important it is to communicate with other people. And the best part is that it gets into minute details, small little details like smiling at people, or be it eye contact, or be it listening to other people properly. So moving forward about how we are going to take this session ahead. So we will be discussing the first chapter of this book, that is by the name it is by the name of Don't Criticize People. So the theme of the this whole first chapter is that why should we not criticize people, and how ineffective criticism is in real world. So it tells us about how our urge to criticize people at every instance. It tells us about why we criticize people now and then. So uh, Dale Carnegie also says that 75% of your financial success is probably an outcome of social skills rather than your technical skills. And also the very famous quote that your net worth is your network, right? So influencing people is a really important task to do. Be it you want to do better sales, you want to get better clients, or you probably want to get paid more. All you need to do is influence people. And maybe there are instances where you don't want to do a certain thing, or maybe there are instances where you want to do a certain thing and you want to talk to the authority or the person concerned with this kind of issue. So all you need to do is influence people. You probably need to convince your parents to buy a bike or probably buy a pet. So that is why influencing people is such an important task. So this book has 9 chapters in it. So the first chapter is I already mentioned about, is about why criticism is bad. So I'll begin with the chapter. I'll state a line from the chapter. Criticism is futile because it puts the other person on the defensive, and would usually make him or her to strive to justify him. That is, whenever we try to criticize someone, we want that the other person should, consider his mistake, should feel guilty about his mistake, or at least realize that he has committed a mistake. But rather, what actually happens is that the other person tries to justify why he has done something. And criticism is dangerous because it wounds the other person's precious pride, and it hurts his sense of importance, and arouse resentment in the other person. There was this psychological study done by B.F. Skinner that actually was done on animals, and it showed how positive reinformations, like rewarding the animal when it did something good, was better than giving him negative reinforcements and telling and in giving him negative reinforcements when he did something bad. So it is very clear that positive reinforcements work much better than negative reinforcements. So if you really want, the criticism really does not work that well, and probably appreciation does the better thing as compared to criticism. So author at every point even questions the point of criticism, that you can't really win an argument. Even if you win an argument, you'll probably lose the heart of the other person, you'll probably lose the respect of the other person. But because and also the author says why people are so much convinced about they are always doing the right thing, and he takes the example of Al Copain, one of the most notorious public enemy of America. He was probably the leader of most sinister gangs that ever shot up in Chicago. You forget even condemning himself. He rather said, I have spent the best years of my life giving people the lighter pleasures, helping them to have a good time, and all I get is abuse, the existence of a hunted man. You realize this statement is given by a mass murderer who probably killed I don't know how many people, and the whole world is criticizing this man for his infamous crimes. And this guy has to say that he has done nothing wrong. He probably did everything for other people, for lighter pleasures of the other people. And another example that Carnegie shares is Crowley, who's another very infamous public enemy of America, and he ends up killing a lot of policemen. And when he was asked about his notorious crime, he ends up saying that under my coat is a very very hard but a kind one that would do no harm to anyone. So you realize when the whole world is criticizing them and telling them that they did something very wrong, and there's no doubt about they did something very wrong, but in these people's mind, it is almost, you can't even believe how, to what extent criticism fails when it comes to convincing the other person that he has done something wrong. And also the author mentions a very incident of where a very famous and very successful business entrepreneur of a beer producing company says that he realized in his career very early that you should not criticize people. You should not criticize people, and it is foolish to criticize people, in his words, if I quote. So, and another incident is the famous incidents of Abraham Lincoln, and the author seems to be very fascinated by Abraham Lincoln. He has probably studied his life for 10 years, or devoted 3 to 4 years writing his stories and rewriting his book. So he starts by saying Lincoln was a very when he was very young, he used to probably criticize people very openly. He used to send them and ridicule them in red letters and drop the letters in public, so that he made sure that those letters were read. And there was a point when Lincoln actually criticized someone, and the person actually challenged him for a gunfight. And after that, Lincoln really stopped criticizing people. So that was the learning that Lincoln had. And even when he had really bad relations with his general, and he was very, very upset by the decision that the general has taken against in the war, World War II, Lincoln did not choose to send him the letter that he has written criticizing the person. So another very this book is based. Dale Carnegie hails from America, so most of the incidents would be from their state. So Roosevelt and the President Taft, they had a very big quarrel in the Republican Party. That was probably the ruling party at that time. But then after this quarrel, the party completely split into pieces, and it led to the whole big horrible defeat of Republicans in the next elections. And Roosevelt always blamed Taft for that big loss in the elections, but what would President Taft do? He would obviously not blame himself for that. He said he could never do something very different from what he actually did. So this tells about, even at the top places, you could not find people accepting their mistakes, or you really don't know what was the mistake, but there is very less chances of how people will accept their mistakes. So moving forward, there is also one instance where the author says Mark Twain used to write letters in very angry mood and would provide bitter criticism to people around, but his wife never really allowed him to post those letters. So and the author argues that that was the reason why Mark Twain became such a huge sensation. So, and there was also an incident that author shares that bitter criticism led Thomas Hardy, the one of the most finest authors of English literature, to even commit suicide because of criticism. So this is the power, the negative impact of criticism that actually takes place on the person. Bob Hoover, a very famous test pilot and frequent performer at air shows, was returning from his home in Los Angeles from an air show, and he actually had to conduct an emergency landing because there was some problem in the engine. So what actually happened was his mechanic used jet fuel instead of gasoline in his aircraft, and that is why the whole mascare that happened, and he had land an emergency landing. But even after this scenario, Bob Hoover goes up to the mechanic and says, that does not criticize him, and says, you know, you have to fill my. I'm very pretty sure that you're guilty for a mistake, and I'm sure you will be filling my gas tank for the next flight that I will fly tomorrow. And the whole point of the first chapter is you should try and avoid as much to avoid providing as much criticism as you can. Should try and appreciate the other person for the good, and you should even understand the other person's point of view towards what they did and why they did so. And it is a lot more profitable and intriguing than criticism itself. So that was all about the chapter. Thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Animesh. So next time, before trolling someone on Twitter or on any other social media, we should remember these things. Just one couple of lines from this chapter, which I feel were very good. So when dealing with people, let us remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic. We are dealing with creatures of emotion, creatures bristling with prejudices and motivated by pride and vanity. So yeah, that was it for today. So, a couple of announcements before you all leave. So, what I'll do, there's one networking channel over here. So, people do go over there and tell us about yourself. So, it will be easy for us to network with everyone, as it is said that your network is your net worth. I'll start by posting mine over there, and then you can follow it through. Other than that, so there are a couple of suggestions which I want to take from you people. So that also I'll post over in the form of poll on maybe on this channel or the other channel. So please do respond to that also. So we'll try to keep these things on weekends for sure, and we'll try to do this on some flexible weekdays also. So yeah, do get in. And if someone wants to contribute by speaking or doing something, by telling or by summarizing things, so he's also welcome over here. So do message me for that. So thank you for this, and please do respond on the networking channel. I'll be sharing the format over there. Thank you.
We are open for discussion, guys. Any questions, anything that you disagree about the book?
Yeah, anyone wants to share something? Otherwise, you can leave now.
I feel that session was great, man.
Thank you, man. Any more suggestions or any feedback?
I think
Can I add something? It's not for the book review. It's for the people who joined. Uh, I'd like to say that this is not for the people who actually who think that this is for the people who read. Matlab, he read every day or like that. It is for the people also that who want to develop that interest to read. So I got many DMs saying that we are not much of a reader. So for them, it is that if you want to develop that interest, it is for you guys also.
I want to point out one mistake. Can I?
Sure, sure.
I think it was Civil War, not World War II, because Abraham
Okay.
Lincoln made peace.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Yes, yes, yes. I realized it when I said it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you.
Hello. I have a general doubt. I don't have a reading habit, but I want to develop reading skills. So, which book would be nice for a starter?
Okay. Also,
Okay.
yeah, also, yeah, also if you're new to the reading habit now, so try to read other things except the book, like newspaper, some magazines. So by this, you will create a
I
good habit. Yeah, yeah.
I read
Go on.
articles, blogs, and all, but reading books sometimes gets boring for me. So I'm having problems developing a reading habit.
Yeah, yeah. So for that, try to complete a single chapter on a day as well. Then you'll get okay. Yeah, y-
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. Sure. This thing we can do these things on Sundays for sure.
That would be the best. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well,
Uh, is this genre has to be the same, or you will keep changing the genres of these reading books? These
yeah,
books?
yeah. So what we'll do is create a poll over there, and we'll try to cover all the books of different genres, and the book with the highest number of votes will go with that on the next set.
I have a problem with reading. I generally read the fiction fantasy books for as a genre. I don't read those
Non-fiction
motivation
one.
and etc. So that I
Yeah,
need to develop here.
yeah, yeah.
Pardon me? Huh. No, I do have a reading habit, but generally the fiction fantasy which does not things which does not exist. So I prefer those genres.
So basically, he's
So I
asking
need to
about that
develop the other
people have
genres as well.
different genres or not.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So what do you guys think? Should we read the whole chapter or should we just provide with the summary? So what's your opinion on that?
I guess summary would be better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last time also we discussed about it, like the main points, like the main lines that you spoke about from the chapter, like which highlighted the chapter, so that we could speak. But the summary would be fine because reading the whole chapter would get more monotonous, and people would think that they could do it themselves because we have provided the PDF of the book.
Cool.
all
Cool.
right.
If possible, elaborated summary, if possible.
Yeah, yeah. We'll try to do this because this book is all about the examples. So we are trying it hard to cope up with that. But yeah, we'll try to make it more elaborative from next time.
Okay, sure.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. So yeah, I'll keep one message in this channel also. So yeah, we can do this tomorrow at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. So yeah, if you are interested, then just do reply to that. Okay. Yeah. Any more suggestions from anyone? No.
You're all from second year?
No. 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 Yeah. We all are from most of us are from second year, but yeah, we are not from the same colleges. So yeah,
Oh,
that's the
okay.
point. Yeah.
Acha.
But most of the crowd of this channel is from Nirma only. Yeah.
Acha. Okay.
Mm.
So anyone can join if they wish to. Am
Yeah,
I
yeah,
right?
yeah. Anyone, definitely.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, just to specify, this is not any regular club of our university. So, many people are confused with that. This is not a club of our campus. So, anyone can join in from anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. It would be better if you give the PDF first and then give us time to read. Then we'll see. Yeah. Yeah.
And plus,
Mm,
it's like every weekend we do one chapter each. We don't do the whole book together. So you can come, you can read one chapter, and then that weekend we do that chapter only. It's like that.
Mm,
that's a good
yes.
idea.
Yeah.
Actually, I have joined lately, so can you repeat what's the discussion about?
Yeah. So yeah, we discussed the first chapter of the book, how to win friends and influence people. So yes, we were taking the feedback of that only. Uh, okay, we didn't record this time, but we'll try to record it from next time so that we can share it. Okay. Okay. So there, do share this with Utkarsh.
Okay, definitely I will. In the 9 p.m. onwards, or I think we all are. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I guess tomorrow 9 p.m. is okay for everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you repeat what was the last thing you said? I was busy actually. Around 5 p.m. would be better.
Uh, It's like I
Okay.
guess around
Okay.
around this time everyone is free actually. Like
All right. It's okay. All right. No problem.
So so सभी जा रहे हैं हाय तेरे
I
हेलो हेलो
hello,
हेलो कहाँ
hello.
हाँ मयंक what did you learn in this session please tell us
ज्यादा नहीं हो गया?
bro this is a formal session you can't
हमारा एक पुराना रायन का दोस्त था भाई गेट माली वो आ
मयंक leave please अरे धैर्य भाई हाँ कैसा था यार कैसा गया मेरे को तो पता ही नहीं पड़ा है अरे मयंक छोड़ दे भाई इसको निकाल भाई मयंक को हेलो हाँ हाँ धैर्य अरे तेरी आवाज कट गई, तेरी आवाज कट गई। हाँ बोल। हाँ हाँ हाँ।